The Pentagon claims that the United States of America has spent $25 billion on the Iranian conflict since February 20. The conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States has just reached past the 2-month mark, and in 2 months' time, we have spent billions upon billions of dollars on the conflict. Now, some of you might be wondering, where did that $25 billion go exactly? Well, don't worry, I'm going to break that all down. But the first things that are important to note is the fact that the $25 billion is a rough estimation. These are numbers from the Pentagon, so we can rely on them being as accurate as possible, but they're also not explaining where all the expenditure went. So everything that I say in this video is not backed up statistically, but it's an educated guess based on what we've heard from the Pentagon. So the first thing is obviously munitions. A lot of that money has gone towards the munitions within this operation. The other things is, repairs, equipment that we've had to rebuild or use to be able to operate under this war. The other things that it's probably going towards is leaders. I don't know if that's actually something that they're involving with this expenditure, but typically in war, when you're talking about financing, that's a big portion of what it is the people that are actually running the operations are getting paid large sums to deal with these operations. Now, that might not necessarily be included. It doesn't say whether it is or isn't, but if I had to guess, I would say that's another portion of it. It's also important to note that the Pentagon reported that an estimate of $11.3 billion of those dollars were spent within the first 6 days. So obviously it was spent mostly on the munitions, spent on posturing up, moving the Navy around, moving all of these different operations around, and evacuating military, having to replace equipment from the military that could have potentially gotten hit, stuff like that. That's where a good portion of that $11 million went. The Pentagon also hopes to bring this to Congress's attention and maybe discuss a plan on maybe refinancing everything that we're putting into this war, which could also go within the negotiations that Trump's trying to make. With that being said, though, what do you guys think? Do you think that Congress is going to try to negotiate some way to make this less expensive for us? Or do you think Trump's just going to let us continue going further in the national debt with this war?